wait a second for me. Just gotta get the 3, 2. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Visionary Edge podcast with your host Ben there. Done that. We are here with Podcast Junkies. And man, the day has been amazing. It is getting towards the end of the day. We're actually probably, honestly, Arlene, I think you're going to be my last podcast for the day.
What a great pleasure to be your last one.
I was going to say, I am going to give you the last bit of energy that I do have, and then when I'm going, I'm not talking because I got a full day tomorrow.
Yes.
So, Arlene, I just want to say thank you so much and welcome to, first off, the podcast, but welcome to Visionary Edge.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
I love it. Now, you were here, you said you were here last night, but what brought you here? What brought you to the Visionary Edge?
So Julian connected my husband. Then my husband said he's doing the tech for this conference. And then we had an event at our studio. And I was told, Arlene, you should be speaking at the conference. So here I am.
Oh my gosh! Oh, I love that, Arlene. That's awesome. Wait, so you gave me a little hint. You have your own studio? Is that?
Yes.
Oh, so do you do podcasts?
We do podcasts. Yes. We do podcasts. We do photography. We do
like testimonials,
events like this. See, this is the lady here that got me here, Miss Ma'am, right there.
Hello.
Not her. The woman of the oven.
Janelle. Oh, okay.
Janelle said, Arlene, she was in my office and she's looking at my stuff and she said, why aren't you speaking at my conference?
I
And
love
so she said, you have to speak at my conference.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome. Well, so first off, okay, so where did the studio start? What gave you that kind of like edge to push yourself to do that?
Not me.
Oh, no.
No. The studio is all my husband.
Oh, wow.
So my husband is a techie.
Okay.
And he has a company he's been running for like 25 years now called Technicom Sales and Services. And then he branched off and he started really during COVID heavily doing Technicom Media Group. That's his second company. And during COVID, he handled all the tech to ensure that our church, that everyone got to hear church on Wednesdays and Sundays throughout COVID uninterrupted. Right?
Wow.
And so his passion for that really got fueled during that time.
Yeah.
And he just continues to run with it, and I just watch him in awe because he loved the tech, but now he's in this lane that he's just exploding.
It's crazy what, like opportunities what do they turn into, right?
Absolutely.
Like it's really cool, like meeting all these. A lot of the common theme with a lot of the clients and guests that come in here and the people that are in here for Visionary Edge is that they failed or they had something that took them way a different route. And they just had to make it work. But then it actually developed into something that they were like, wait a second. I can make a good amount I can make some money with this.
I like this. I feel good in this.
Yeah, And the thing is, I mean, it's something that will always be actually more relevant now, right?
Yes.
It's something that's going to continue to grow and push. So that's awesome. So now I'm assuming that you work with your husband?
I do.
And help in what is it that you do with
So we're a complementary team. Our pastor actually says that we are a dynamic team. So I am a consultant. I'm a John Maxwell speaker, trainer, coach. I am the individual that people call when they're, especially CEOs, when they're trying to strategize, when they're trying to figure out their organization and how to move it to the next level. I help people think outside of the box. I help them build their leadership teams. I do anything that supports community building.
Oh my gosh, I mean, you're speaking my language. I'm a huge community guy. I do a lot of teaching. I taught music for a while, actually.
Excellent.
It's like a side of me. But I also just love the community and bringing people together,
Absolutely.
like-minded people,
Yes.
because we fuel each other.
Absolutely.
You know, like one person has a great energy, you're like, wait, what's that guy feeling? Why is he doing that? And then you kind of can you can move mountains with a
Absolutely.
good energy and good people. And
Absolutely.
I love that you're involved with the church in that community, because that's a whole nother realm. You know,
Yes.
we're all in a, and that also gives you a very, very good foot in the door, because you're all in one place,
Yes.
worshiping one
Yes.
God,
Yes.
right? And so that's awesome. Now, so okay, so you guys have done this. You've done the consulting. What is your, I don't know, what does 10 years look like from now, Arlene?
10 years from now. So I'm an author. I'm a published author.
Oh no! Oh my gosh! Look at this! Oh man!
So my vision, and
What's
actually
the book called, by the way?
My book is called "Let Your Daddy Lift You Up: Healing Daddy Issues to Build Healthy Relationships," and that's a book that was also God inspired. And I didn't realize it at the time, but the book helped me address my internal struggles, things that I didn't even know were there, and allowed me to be able to marry the man that is my gift. He's such a gift to me. But I think if I didn't walk through those hurdles and that pain and those scars and those things that I was holding on to, I couldn't be probably the wife that he would need.
Wow. So you had to go through those growths, right?
Absolutely.
You had to go through those, and honestly, it's amazing that you were able to have a platform like a book to be able to write that down, and you're physically seeing the improvements of you going through, right?
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
that truth of God is real, but it's also visually saying, okay, I got to work on this, or
Absolutely.
oh, I fixed this, or you know.
And the interesting thing is, when I got the title, I was doing what I normally do. I'm a beach girl, so
Okay.
that's my place. I go, I center myself, and I went and I just laid down and I looked up, and it was a beautiful day, and all I heard was, "Let your daddy lift you up," and I'm like, I always have my journal, so I heard it again, "Let your daddy lift you up," and the image that came to me when I heard that in my spirit was of a child saying, "Daddy, Daddy, lift me up. Daddy, Daddy, lift me up." And at that moment, I never realized I've never had that experience.
Oh my gosh! How did that just kind of, you just were at peace and it just came to you, like it
Yeah, I
was
was just relaxing on the beach and I heard, "Let your daddy lift you up." But the image that came when I'm correlating the
Yeah.
words was that of a child saying, "Daddy, Daddy, lift me up." When you think about a child saying, "Daddy, lift me up," there's a sense of connection. That child is connected to that adult who they feel they trust, right? That they know that they can carry them, right?
Yeah, you're taking them from the stable ground.
Yes.
And you're in the air now, being you could go wherever.
Exactly.
Right?
You can go wherever, and you can see further than you can see before. When I see daddy when I see children on the shoulders of daddy, they are the obstacles of their vision has been removed, because now they can see above all the other
my
people,
God,
right?
I love
and
that.
so that just blew me away. And so I thought I was writing a book.
Wow.
I thought I was writing a book about my Heavenly Father. And then as I started writing in my journal, the Lord said, "You have to deal with your earthly dad."
Oh my goodness! Wow.
And I was like, ooh, I could talk about my Heavenly Father all day, but my earthly dad?
Really?
Yeah.
So, was that a turning point for you?
It was.
That was the big turning point.
It was a
right?
turning point for me, because on my computer I have about 18 books. Titles that I've gotten over years, drafts I've started. I have one that has like 14 chapters, but it never got published. But this one, I was pushed for movement.
Wow, that's awesome. You know, it's you know, God works in many ways, and there's always a reason for things. You know, I grew up very religious with my family, but as I've gotten older, you know, I respect everyone's beliefs and all however they feel. I find that there's a lot of energy that I feel with a lot of people, and that's something that I really like to capitalize on. You can believe whatever you want. Everyone can believe however or not, whatever you cannot believe.
Yes.
But the thing is that I've been resonating with is just the connection with a human person, right?
Yes.
It's like, okay, I would rather if I didn't believe in anything, but we're our connection hit, right?
Yes.
Our energy,
Yes.
we felt it. So, God's so powerful, and I'm so happy that He pushed you to give you that gift of putting something that you really had. You had it in you, but you didn't know you had it, right?
Yes. And you know what it allowed me to do? It allowed me to change my perspective. So the Arlene who was often angry, bitter, and probably more upset and just distressed about my journey, because my journey has been very traumatic. And even in that, for the last 30 plus years, I work in social services. And so I work with youth, I work with families, and I see the impact of what broken families do to children. And I have experienced it personally in my own life. And so to be able to take my journey and put it in a book and change my perspective to recognize that even though my dad wasn't there, and I felt through my life that I believe that if my dad was present, a lot of the trauma that I experienced may have been different. Because I look at dad as protector. And because dad wasn't there, I was vulnerable, right? And so now I'm able to say, even though dad wasn't there, my heavenly dad was there, and you know what? He made sure that I had divine connections along my journey of people who took care of me.
That's exactly what I was going to say, was that everything does happen for a reason, right? And unfortunately, and I'm so sorry that happened to you as a young, growing up and as a child. But look where you are right now.
Absolutely.
You have a husband that you love amazingly. You're so connected with God. Realistically, maybe you had that dad was there, or he was there more. You might not be where you are right now, right? You might not have met your husband. You might not have wrote these books. You might not have. You didn't go through all these things that people can relate to, right?
Absolutely.
So it's just unbelievable. So you kind of really touched on what my next question was going to be is if you were to give a message to a young entrepreneur or someone wanting to start a business, what would that one piece of advice be?
So my advice is that I'm about passion, and I'm very clear that everything that I do falls in alignment. And so I do my coaching and my consulting work, but it all comes back to how do I strengthen organizations, businesses, and people who are passionate about elevating community and building families.
I love it.
And so when I help an organization do work and serve our community at a higher level, I'm doing what I'm called to do, that and answer the message that children have said so long, that like home is not a safe place. They're looking for resources. How do we make sure we're serving the community well? And I get to do that.
See, you just sitting here with you, I see a beam of light here and projecting it out there. That's how I feel when I'm around. I can tell, like you're here to help, and you're here to project and give a purpose to not just yourself, but everyone. So
Yes.
I think that's awesome. And honestly, this was a great conversation, Arlene. I was like really excited. You asked, and then I was like, oh my gosh, we've been talking for almost 15 minutes. You got the longest podcast actually right now.
Oh my goodness.
So Arlene, final little kind of little nugget for the audience. Where can people, if they wanted to get connected with you or wanted to stay in touch, where could they find you?
Sure. They can find me, you can visit my website, which is IC Group, and IC spells ISEEGROUP LLC.com. And you can find me, that same handle is on my Instagram, my Facebook, my LinkedIn, same thing, icgroupllc.com. You can always find me, IC Group LLC, that's my tagline, you can find me. And IC stands for Igniting the Spirit to Excel in Excellence. And that's my business.
Oh, I love that, Arlene. That's amazing. I think you're going to help so many people, and I just want to also say thank you for coming on the show and
Thank you for having
being
me.
so it's so cool, and this was such a fun experience. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
I told you, I'm gonna be honest, you got my last bit of energy. I'm like spent. I got to go recharge for tomorrow. I got a full day again of doing this.
You're doing it, and because you're operating in your calling and your passion, the energy exudes, and we just thank you for creating a platform for us to communicate.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And make sure we're going to share all this stuff. I want to have, I'm actually really launching my podcast, Been There, Done That. So this is something that I think is a really cool little avenue. Have a bunch of little videos, capitalizing or capillating my, or is that the right word? Which one is capitalizing or capillating? Is that even a word? I'm trying to embark on my personality. Like a lot of people, you don't get that, right? And I think this is a great platform to really show. Like I'm so interested in learning about new people.
Absolutely,
and that's something that I'm really excited to share. So
me too.
Arlene, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, and good luck speaking.
Yes,
right?
Thank you. I didn't plug my podcast, but we'll do that another time.
It's you. Hey, we're still live. I did not stop. So wait a second. You thought we were finished. We're not finished. Arlene's got one more piece of content and material for you guys.
Sure. So I do a podcast called Slow It Down Sundays. That's a whole nother subject. But right now it's on YouTube, and I'm converting it over to all the different platforms. But I've recorded 16 episodes.
I love it. I love
of Slow It Down Sundays. And it's just about us taking time from the hustle and truly slowing it down, recalibrate, and reposition ourselves for the week ahead.
I love it. Slow It Down Sundays. That is so relevant.
Yes.
And it kind of brings me back to just... I always like to look at the little things in life.
Yes.
One thing that I recommend to everybody is slow down a little bit, because life moves way too fast. But if you can go and look up, like my favorite time of the day is around 6 and 7, when you can look up.
Guess what time my Slow It Down Sunday is? 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
For 30 minutes. I'm just walking us through how to do that. It's like, it sounds good, but how do you do that? How do we really practice that?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. That's awesome.
So on Sundays at 7 p.m., I'm slowing it down.
All right,
and I'm inviting others to do the same.
I might have to tune in to Slow It Down Sunday. I'm looking forward to it. Well, Arlene, thank you so much again, and
thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Absolutely. Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.